What is good, YouTube? Coming at y'all again with another video. And in today's video, we'll be looking at UK drill lyrics that really happened. I normally have an intro with these videos, but I'm not even gonna do that. This video is 11 minutes long. I don't want to bore y'all, so let's get right into it.
Although fans in America often sleep on the UK, London's drill scene is just as wild as it is in places like Chicago and New York. From stabbings to scam to first-degree murder, anything goes in Great Britain.
Sheesh.
With the rise of drill, bragging about your crimes and dissing your ops in music is now just a part of the culture. Here's a look at some of the craziest drill lyrics that happened in real life. We left your young boy resting in piss. ACG, Young Diz and D-Sav, time will tell. Young Diz and D-Sav are two drill rappers from the Beckton neighborhood of East London. They are a part of a crew called The Six and a set called ACG, which stands for All Can Go. D-Sav and Young Diz are two of the most prominent rappers from The Six, and the crew is both feared and respected in Beckton. After this video was released, Diz was arrested for the kidnapping and torture of a 16-year-old op who finessed him and was sentenced to 6 years in prison.
Are most drill rappers in the UK kind of young? Cause how come every time I see somebody get murdered or something happen to them, it's always to a younger person, like somebody who's not even 18 yet? Culprit is one I think about a lot, cause that's the one I always get reminded of when I think of UK drill violence, cause how violently he was killed. These young dudes get into the gang life so early, man, and it's just always just goes downhill for them every time.
Check out our video on UK rappers and knife fights for more info on this case. ACG is known to beef with a rival crew called the 7th from the Forest Gate section of London. The group was formerly known as the E7 Crips and has been one of the most active gangs in the city since the late 90s. In this bar, D-Sav is referencing to the murder of a 7th affiliate named Corey Jr. Davis, or CJ, who was killed back in 2017. CJ was only 17 at the time, and the killing was seen as one of the most brutal moves that occurred in the ongoing war between the two rival sets. CJ was affiliated with the 7th gang, but an investigation into the murder revealed that he had been painted as a violent gang member when in fact, he was far from a hardcore killer. His murder has been covered by many British media outlets, and the investigation showed that he tried to escape the lifestyle before he was killed and didn't receive the support he needed.
Once you get in a lifestyle, you cannot get out of it. I don't know why people get into it and then they feel like, oh, this ain't for them, so they try to get out. Just stay away from it, bro. It's so much safer. Just stay away from it. And it's actually sad because it be dudes who just want to fit in at the time or just want to do it because all their friends in it and shit like that, and then they realize it ain't really for them. But by that time, you already done painted a target for yourself, and you already have that image of being from this gang. So now when dudes see you, man, they gonna want to stab your ass.
Before getting sucked into the gang culture, CJ was a talented dancer and a good student who received above average grades in school. But he had pretty severe ADHD and was kicked out of regular school for disruptive behavior. He was transferred to a different school for kids with behavioral problems, which was where he got introduced to the 7th gang. Gangs like the 7th and 6th are known for recruiting young kids to help them sell drugs. They would buy the kids food and clothes and then gradually force them to commit crimes. For 2 years before he was murdered, CJ tried to escape the lifestyle that he had got caught up in. He reported the gang's intimidation tactics to social workers at his school and told police that he was scared for his life. But they all saw him as an offender, not a victim, because of his associations.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Once you get into it, man, there kind of is no getting out. You already done painted that image of yourself. That's how everybody is gonna see you. And it's sad because if he was kind of like forced into it from the people that he was around, it makes it even worse because it's kind of like he had no choice to do it. It's either that or possibly get hurt.
On September 4th, 2017, CJ and a group of other guys were walking outside of a playground in Newham when a silver Range Rover pulled up and started letting off shots. A 17-year-old was shot in the leg and CJ was hit in the head. He was brought to the hospital and put on life support, but later died from his injuries.
Is that him?
Video surveillance footage caught the Range Rover fleeing the scene, but CJ's killers were never arrested.
Damn.
It wasn't clear if CJ was the intended target or the shooters just saw the group and started letting off shots. It doesn't seem like anyone would have beef with him specifically, given that he was so young and not really about that life to begin with. What's more likely is that his association made him a target and he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It wasn't initially clear who killed CJ, but it was eventually attributed to the turf warfare between the 6th and the 7th.
I believe it.
Not long after, Young Diz and other rappers from ACG started taking credit for the killing. Before Time Will Tell was released, Diz was featured on another track called Smoky Things, where he disses CJ's mom saying, "Mom kept shedding tears, tell her I don't give a f that her son ain't here. Ever since her son got dropped, the whole block ain't done shit. And I was laughing after I saw a pic of the mom just buried her kid."
That lyric, I believe, was in the video of the top 10 disrespectful disses. And I could kind of see why. When he actually died like that, where people don't even know if it was really meant for him, and other people try to take credit for it, it's kind of lame. I mean, you're kind of like free game at that point. You know, the killers were never caught, so who's to say that they didn't really do it?
Diz is claiming credit for the hit, saying that it was just revenge after the 7th killed 2 of their members. After CJ was killed, the gang didn't do anything to retaliate, which proved that ACG is the dominant crew in the area. CJ's mother was obviously pretty angry about this song and went to the police to have it removed from YouTube. Even if CJ was an op, there's no need to drag a grieving mother into the beef, especially when her son was so young. However, this didn't stop the Six from continuing to diss CJ, and Time Will Tell was released the following year. Not too long after, Diz was taken down for creating other young gang members and torturing one of the kids who refused to cooperate. The war between the 6th and the 7th gangs still rages to this day, and no one was ever arrested for CJ's murder. Hopefully, Diz's arrest gave his mother some closure, even though he may not have been the one who actually let off the shots. But if you thought that was wild, this next rapper mocked an op for not being able to sip lean after being shot in the kidney. Here's the bar. Phillies don't dance, TPL. You talk about Molly's drinking lean, but your mate can't sip no lean. No, he can't. He got bun on his sweet 16. F that, I'm beefing Mesquines. One kidney.
I never knew that you could diss somebody for not being able to drink lean. I mean, if anything, him being shot in the kidney probably helped him. Because if you drink lean, it eventually fucks up your liver and fucks up your kidney and can give you seizures. You become dependent on it. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get caught lacking because you high off syrup, high off lean. So if anything, he kind of did him a favor.
One kidney. The Turnpike Lane Gang, also known as Touch Paper Lane, Take People's Lives, or just TPL for short, is a drill group and gang from the Turnpike Lane area of Haringey and North London. The group is divided into 2 sets, the 8th side, which are made up of mostly Somali immigrants, and the 15th/22nd side, which are a mixture of immigrants from Albania, Turkey, and Colombia.
Damn.
JoJo, Omiz, and TD are 3 notable members of TPL and have been representing the gang on the drill scene for the past few years. TPL is known to beef with another gang called OFB, or the Original Farm Boys, who are based in Broadwater Farm, a public housing estate in Tottenham, North London. In this bar, JoJo is referencing another artist named OFB Desi, who was shot in the kidney back in 2015. Desi is a rapper from the OFB camp, known for tracks like Bust It and Drip No Drown. In 2015, a TPL member who goes by the name YOLO shot Desi in the back, which resulted in him losing the kidney.
Damn.
At some point, OFB was making fun of TPL because they couldn't drink lean. Some of the TPL gang are from Somalia and practice Islam, which means they can't take drugs or drink alcohol. On this track, JoJo is pointing out the irony of the OFB crew dissing them for not drinking lean, when Desi can't sip lean either because of his kidney problem.
Oh, that makes sense why they was doing it. So they can't drink lean because of their religion, and he can't drink lean because of his kidney. That's actually kind of funny. I thought they was just trying to be funny, like, oh, you can't drink lean no more, you can't take drugs like everybody else. But they actually said that for a reason. They snapped, not gonna lie, they definitely snapped.
Shooting also took place on Desi's 16th birthday, which is where the Sweet 16 reference comes in. Phillies Don't Dance was the first drill track that TPL dropped, and the group managed to gain a following in music just off of dissing the OFB camp. OFB is more established on a musical level, with major artists like Heady One and RV repping the crew, but they're pretty evenly matched on the street and have been at war for several years. OFB Desi made a full recovery, although he now only has 1 kidney. The shooting happened over 5 years ago, but that hasn't stopped TPL from referencing the incident several times in the past year as they've gained some traction in the music industry. Hopefully, they can turn their music into a legal career and leave the street life behind.
Yeah.
But the constant dissing of ops like Desi in their songs may make it hard for them to survive in the industry without facing a few problems. If you thought that was wild, this next rapper talks about almost killing one of his ops and only let him get away because he tripped. He goes on to explain the entire beef between their 2 crews and even disses a fallen member who has been dead for over a decade.
God damn.
If I didn't trip, Marsh would have been Ghost. Box 12, play for the foes.
Imagine not being able to catch a body because you fucking tripped. Because now bro was able to live another day and you was able to keep a body off your record. So now you still got your freedom. But damn, bro, these dudes really be playing for keeps out here. They do not be letting up at all, bro. They be trying to catch a body at any given moment.
Box 12 is a drill rapper associated with the 12 Anti gang based in the Shepherd's Bush area of London. 12 Anti are a splinter gang of another group called 916, which was a large crew of rappers and gang members who lived in the W10, W11, and W12 postcode zones of London. Tensions and jealousy within the crew led 916 to eventually break apart and split into 3 different gangs.
Damn.
The dudes in the W12 postcode split up into the 12 World and 12 Anti-gangs, and the guys from W10 and W11 became Group 1011. Ever since then, the 3 groups have been at constant war with one another. Even though they were once cool, they have now become sworn ops. They have been dissing each other in tracks since the drill movement first popped off in songs that usually reference real-life violence. In this track, Box 12 lays out several of the major attacks that have gone down over the past few years. The song is a response to the diss track Play for the Pagans by 1011 members Digga D, Savo, and Horrid One, which came out in September 2017. Box 12 starts out the verse by saying, "Play this one for the foes. I swear the man there's talking loads. meaning that his ops aren't really as hard as they claim to be. He then goes on to diss members of 1011, directly rapping, "If I didn't trip, Marsh would have been Ghost." Marsh/Miscum is a 1011 member who got caught lacking by Box 12. According to Box 12, he almost ended Marsh's life, but tripped. It was later revealed that Marsh was wearing a vest the whole time and pretended to play dead so that his attacker would leave him alone. Even though his ops would probably use that to discredit him, it was a pretty smart move because Box 12 lets it be known on this track that if he had it his way, Marsh would be dead.
I know for a fact the stab-proof vest market is booming in the UK. Playing dead so your attackers don't try to finish you off? Big brain move. Wearing a stab-proof vest as well? Major big brain move. If most people moved like him, maybe they wouldn't get stabbed up. But the vests are probably like contraband or something, right? Like not everybody can get it. You probably gotta smuggle it in, just like how they smuggle in guns. It's kind of like that in the US. Like only certain states can have bulletproof vests, but not everybody can. I'm sure stab-proof vests are perfectly legal everywhere in the US because I don't think we have a big stabbing problem.
Use rapping, "I'm on it," and the pagans know. Splash TY and everyone froze. TY is another member of 1011 who Box says he splashed, which is a UK drill term for stabbing someone.
Yep.
He claims to this bar that he sliced up TY pretty badly and everyone just panicked instead of reacting. He keeps name dropping his ops, saying, "Say So got chinged like ages ago." Sini Say So is another member of 1011. Say So has been absent from the UK drill scene for the past few years.
Wow.
Rumors circulated that he left the streets behind and went to college, while others say that he just got tired of where the drill scene was heading. In this bar, Box 12 is suggesting that Say So got touched by ops and left the scene alone out of fear. But he doesn't stop there. He continues to diss his rivals by saying, "BAR12 just chinging, like this one here's gotta go, like I'm really trying to turn man Vagues." Vagues was a dude from the Ladbroke Grove area where 1011 is based. He was killed a decade before the war between 1011 and 12 World, also known as 12 Anti, split by some people from Church Road, not Shepherd's Bush. However, he's one of the OGs of the Ladbroke Grove gang, which is another name for 1011, and ops like Box 12 will.
There's so many different gangs and so many different streets and so many different affiliations that I'm so fucking lost when it comes to that. I'm surprised they don't just have just one side and the other side. Like you got Bloods and you got Crips. Now they got 1011, AGB, TPL, 51st, Active Gang, and 71st. I think one of those two are actually the same thing. I think 51st is actually Active Gang as well, or AGB is actually Active Gang. I don't fucking know, bro. It's so many different ones.
Will often disrespect Vagues, even if they weren't involved in that particular beef. He continues on in the diss saying, "And bro crashed corn at ZK, like this one's gotta get pain. And if I knew where Vagues was lying, I'll back my dick on his grave." Crashing corn is a UK drill slang term for shooting your gun.
Pause. What the fuck does that mean? I'm not even finna question. I'm just letting the video play. I'm not even finna question that shit. What the fuck?
He's saying that someone from 12 Anti shot at ZK, another member of 1011, and tried to take his life. He follows it up by dissing Vagues once again, saying that if he knew where he was buried, he'd piss on his grave. This is about as disrespectful as it gets, especially because Vagues was killed before he even had a chance to beef with the 12 Anti gang. But in the world of drill, all bets are off.
Yep, all
the
bets
Chicago
are
drill
off.
scene popularized the practice of telling enemies that you're gonna smoke their dead homies in the blunt. The UK drill scene is taking it a step further and will threaten to disrespect a dead op's grave years after they've been killed. Box 12 keeps coming with the insults, rapping, "And we West Side chingers, but in the South where AP got shaved, and don't serve Huncho's Nan rocks, cause she ain't got the right change." AP is another member of 1011 who Box 12 claims they shaved, which means he got stabbed. He then takes the disrespect to a new level and disses 1011 member Huncho's grandmother. He not only claims that she's a crackhead who does shady business, which is a pretty low blow even for the drill scene.
Fucked up.
This bar is significant because not long before this track was dropped, 5 members of 1011 were arrested, including Digga D, Savo, and Muscum for planning to run up on 12 World for disrespecting Huncho's grandmother on social media.
Yeah.
They were all sentenced to a year in jail and issued a criminal behavior order that prohibited them from making music referencing their ops. So it was a pretty low blow for Box 12 to.
You can do that? I didn't know you could make a law and administer said law to where these drill rappers can't even talk about other people. I'm surprised London hasn't done that shit for every drill rapper that come across the scene to try to lower the violence. But I guess you can't do that shit for everybody, man. That shit probably takes time.
This Huncho's grandmother, knowing there isn't that much 1011 can do about it on the street or in the music, with the cops watching their every move. Check out our video on rappers arrested for making music for more info on this case. The war between 12 World and 1011 rages on to this day. The issuing of criminal behavior orders and a general crackdown on drill music in the UK has prevented certain rappers from directly dissing each other, so the musical output of the groups has slowed down, but that hasn't stopped the violence. Hopefully, Both crews can focus their attention on something other than killing each other and find a way to leave the street beef behind. But with so much talent lost to this war already, it's tough to see an end in sight.
My thoughts on this video. I've said this before in the past. Any drill rapper that makes music that mentions it's someone dead op, somebody's family member, somebody who's alive that they stabbed, I'ma just believe them off the rip. Because there are so many different gangs that are beefing with each other and so many different sets and so many different affiliations that these dudes could be arm's reach of one another, and it'll happen so fast that nobody was able to see it. Only thing they have is just word of mouth from this artist or that artist. Remind me never to go to the UK. These drill rappers are completely out of pocket, man. That shit is insane, bro. How you gonna mention somebody who's been dead for over 10 years who has nothing to do with what the beef y'all having today? But hey, man, there's no rules in the drill scene. Everybody should know that, bro. So anybody is up for free game. Mamas, daddies, uncles, aunties, babies, grandmas, everybody. But anyways, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning into the video, man. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and recommend other videos you would like me to see down below. My name is Berg Life Mark, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man.